Tonight, a Talladega school is remembering one of their students who died in that fire.
ABC 3340's Alex Dorenz talked to those who not only knew him, but the impact he made that will last a lifetime.
It's a simple message with a deep meaning. Make today your best day ever. A phrase that will live on at the Helen Keller School, whether it be by word of mouth, hanging from the doors, or at the end of an email, even though the person who said it is no longer with us.
That saying encapsulates everything about Zane. He viewed every day as his best day ever, no matter what happened. If he was having a bad day, you would know it. He always just viewed every day as his best day ever.
That person, Christopher Zane Long, better known as Zane. He went to the Helen Keller School for nearly 2 years, but moved to the Scottsboro area. He and 7 others were killed in the boat dock fire earlier this week.
It just felt like we'd been kicked in the stomach.
Rhonda McCorkle taught Long while he was at the school. She says even though he was just a teenager, he was someone even an adult could emulate.
He was a bright star, and so that star's gone. It just, it won't be replaced. We have a lot of wonderful children out there, and they are all shining brightly, but Zane's gone. So just kind of a hole that we won't be able to fill.
In Talladega, Alex Dorenz, ABC 3340 News.
However, several major institutions in Alabama plan to resume in-person classes this fall. The University of Montevallo is one of those. Administrators expect students to return to campus and to have full classrooms.
ABC 3340's Alex Dorenz reports the university is helping its students cover tuition during these extremely tough times.
Marcus Hardy has a dream. That dream is to get his degree in exercise science. With his job essentially eliminated due to COVID-19, it's been stressful trying to cover day-to-day expenses. He's even had to think of not returning to the University of Montevallo this fall. But his children serve as his motivation.
When they do their homework, I'm doing my homework. And one thing I don't want to do is quit. I don't want to let a small obstacle like this get in my way and I quit. And that gives them the impression that an obstacle will give them the opportunity to quit. I don't ever want them to think that they can quit on something.
Thanks to more than $1 million in added scholarship funding, quitting will not be part of Hardy's vocabulary. The University of Montevallo will provide the scholarships for new and currently enrolled students to make sure their finances don't get in the way of pursuing their dreams.
I've never been more keen on a generation's ability to come together and to overcome hardship. And so I'm very excited to see what these young people have ahead of them in the future.
And with this, it means an extra weight off their shoulders. Alex Dorenz, ABC 3340 News.
Now, of those funds, approximately $750,000 will be for new and transfer students. $500,000 is to go to students already enrolled. Good afternoon. Medical workers and essential employees all across the viewing area witnessed those flyovers.
One solid, symbolic way of saying thank you for all they have done and continue to do. ABC 3340's Alex Dorenz stood with some of those workers as they turned their eyes to the sky.
The days long, draining both physically and mentally. But for a few moments around the Birmingham area, all that went away. Tommy Nicholas is the nursing director of Princeton Baptist. He also served in the Navy.
It's been almost like the war was. We're just fighting it on our home turf here. Being on both sides, it's tough being veteran and a healthcare provider in a time when we see so many people that needs our help.
On this day, help came from above. The 117th Refueling Wing flew by 8 local hospitals to say thank you to frontline workers and all those helping in this pandemic. After all the hard work being put in by doctors, nurses, and other frontline workers both here and around the country, members of the 117th Refueling Wing tell me this: saluting those workers in this way was an easy thing to do.
I've been telling a lot of folks on my staff, when have you ever seen our medical healthcare providers be on the front line of a conflict? That's very different. And those folks, I can't tell you how proud I am of our medical workers that are here in Birmingham and my med group that's right here on my base.
And when it was all said and done, these heroes went back to fight another day, to win another battle. In Birmingham, Alex Durrence, ABC 3340 News. In less than 2 hours from now, these lights hovering above Holly Pond's baseball field will be lit up in honor of two players that lit up the field and the hallways and classrooms of Holly Pond High School, Dayton Floyd and Joshua McGinnis, who were killed Sunday night in a car accident.
We're going to miss those two young men. It's going to be hard for a long time here.
Normally, the school would open its doors for students and others to come and grieve, and even be there with arms wide open for hugs. But due to the COVID-19 situation, guidance counselors and social workers will be available to speak with students over the phone, part of the new normal we are facing.
There will be things that we're doing right now that we'll probably have to continue to do for a very long time. But we will eventually get back to where we can be hugging on these young people and taking care of them again the way we're used to doing.
Being able to hug a kid, and we're going to miss those things. Those things are going to be difficult. And we're human beings. So I'm hoping that in some way that we can still convey the emotion and how we feel, and for them to know that we love them and do really, really care about them.
Always, and especially right now. Alex Durrence, ABC 3340 News. Jerica Cruz is following in her mother's footsteps. Just like her mom, she is a nurse. She even wears her mother's badge. If she was looking for a confirmation of being in the right profession, this is it.
For me, and so many girls that I work with, it's really just more about knowing that this is what we're called to do. This is what we were called to do, and we didn't know that this was what was going to happen, but we were called to do it. And so it's an honor and a privilege, and we are more than willing to do whatever we need to do to take care of our patients.
For nurses like Cruz, that has meant doing jobs they've never done before. A palliative care director for one hospital, Holly Franklin, says nurses now must be the line of communication even more between doctors and families.
The families are wanting to be here with their loved ones. This is one of the most important times for them to be here. And it's very tough to sit there and FaceTime with the family and the patient, knowing that they're end of life. It's one of the hardest things that I've ever done.
Nurses appreciate signs like this, but even without any recognition, they would tell you they are just answering the call to service. Alex Durrence, ABC 3340 News.
Come on.
In Cody Rasco's 10-plus years of raising cattle, he hasn't seen times like this. He's looking at about getting $100 less per calf this year compared to previous years.
It's been pretty devastating. I mean, it's, whenever you have calves ready to sell, we have two calving seasons. We have a spring and we have a fall calving season, and we rely on those calves to get us from one season to the next, and just to go sell those cattle at the stockyard, they're just not bringing the prices that we need.
Rasco says an upcoming event with the Alabama Cattlemen's Association will be a game changer. It's a web series that will teach producers all they need to know about feeding their cattle, getting it to a processor, and market their beef directly to consumers.
We had an increase in ask about that. How do you do it? What's involved? What are the regulations? What can and can't do? And so we felt like it was important for the association to come forward with this webinar series, really to serve as an educational piece. And so that's what it will do.
That cattle producer is wanting to make sure that he makes a profit. He's going to probably have to do something he's never done before. And this is the avenue that he can take advantage of. If he's going to lose, why not try it? Why not give it a shot and see how big of an improvement he can make on his bottom line?
Because these are different times. Alex Durrence, ABC 3340 News.